Google has crossed way more than 2 million searches. Just think about that. 2 million searches every minute. So there is a huge chunk of audience out there searching for your product or business. And being a digital marketer, you can tap into the right audience or the audience with a high intent who are searching for your business. E-commerce itself is a business that is growing exponentially. Just think about it for yourself. How many times have you purchased a product online? Many, right? I can't even count them in two hands. I've shopped a lot online. So that has become a type of behavior for customers now. So through Google Ads, it really bridges the gap between customers and businesses. That is, customers who are really looking out for your product, that is, high intent customers and the businesses. Google just bridges the gap through Google search campaigns. With this, you can reach the right customer at the right time with the right product that you're going to market. Before we get further into how to set up a Google search campaign, there are a few basics that you can understand. Repeat, there are a few basics that you need to understand so that this video is much easier for you. So let's look at a quick glossary of what are the terms that you need to know before launching a Google search campaign or before understanding Google search. So many of these terms are also useful in other types of campaigns as well. So I hope you really learn a lot through this slide. So here you can look at the quick definitions of each of these words. But I'm going to start off with campaign, ad group, keyword, and ad. So a lot of us struggle to understand initially as to what is the difference between a campaign, ad group, and an ad. So this is common across digital marketing. So if you're using a Facebook campaign or a Google display campaign or a Google YouTube campaign, the campaign, ad group, and ad structure remains the same across everywhere. So campaign, it's always in that hierarchy. That is, there is one campaign within which there are multiple ad groups, within which you can have multiple ads. So that is the sort of hierarchy that is followed in a campaign, ad group, and ad. When you come to Facebook ads, you would understand that it's not an ad group, it's called an ad set. That's the only difference actually. So I have a very simple analogy to help you understand the difference between campaign, ad group, and ad. So think of campaigns as a whole mall or a clothing store. Within this clothing store, there are subsections, right? So there are men's section, women's section, kids section. So the subsections within that campaign would be the ad groups. So that would be the men's ad group, women's ad group, or the kids ad group. The keyword would be something that you would ask the store manager or the store itself. So you would go to the store manager and ask, so where do I get green jackets for men? So that is essentially the keyword. And in online instances, like someone who would search on Google search green jackets online, that would be the keyword. And the ad itself would be what the store manager could tell you. He would say that, so the green jackets are there towards your right. We have this amazing discount going on today. So you have 50% off for today. So that is like the ad which is going out. I hope this analogy was clear to you. But essentially, coming back to Google search campaigns, it would be like a campaign. You could have a clothing store, could have a clothing campaign within which you could have subsections, which are ad groups, which would be men's clothing ad groups, women's clothing ad groups, kids clothing ad groups. And the keywords within each of them would be relevant to that specific ad group. So you would enter keywords in the men's clothing ad group, like men's clothing online, men's t-shirts online, men's jeans online. Similarly for women's and kids. And the ad which shows will definitely be relevant to the keyword. So if someone is searching for a men's clothes online, obviously you wouldn't want to show them a kid's clothing or a kid's jeans, right? So that is quite obvious. And that's how the keyword and the ad would be related to each other. So if someone is searching for a men's t-shirt online, you would definitely show them an ad saying that there's a men's t-shirt by so and so brand. These are the brands that we're selling, and this is how much offer you can get if there is any. Coming to the definition itself, campaign contains one or more ad groups. An ad group contains one or more keywords and ads. And the keywords are the terms that define if the ad can appear. The ad itself is the promoted text which is seen by the user. Why I'm saying promoted text is because on Google search campaigns, you can only use text which is seen. Like, I'm sure you would have used Google search a lot of times, and the ads you see are only text based, right? So that is what we are mentioning here. Coming to impressions. Impressions is a very important term in digital marketing as a whole. So impressions means the number of times your ad was shown. So this doesn't mean a unique number as such. So there are two people, you and I. If I see the ad thrice and you see the ad only once, this means that the number of impressions is 4. So it is essentially the number of times your ad was shown to any user. It could be the same user, it could be a different user. Impressions mean the number of times the ad was shown. So here there's also another term which I didn't mention here, but is quite relevant to impressions. So there's something called reach as well. Reach essentially means the number of unique users you reached. So that is, if you saw the ad thrice and I saw it once, the reach becomes 2 because 2 people saw the ad, and the impression is 4 because the number of times the ad was shown. It's not very relevant in terms of Google search, but it is definitely a term that you should know as a digital marketer. So there is also CPC, or the cost per click. So in Google, you are essentially paying Google per click. You would also want to understand what is the cost you are paying for each click. Quality score is another factor that depends if your ad is shown or not. So this is Google's way of saying how relevant your ad and keywords are. So if you bid on a keyword saying men's t-shirts and you end up showing ads for bottles, it doesn't make sense, right? So that's when your quality score will sort of go down. So it depends on the relevance between your keyword and ads. That is the quality score. So there are also some other terms that you will come across while launching the campaign. And of course, I can help you understand what they mean right then. So some of them are like search volume. So that means essentially the number of people searching for that keyword on an average in a month. So it would be if there is a keyword saying red hats online, then you would understand by seeing the search volume that there are about 1,300 people searching for it on an average every month, or are there 10,000 people? So you can understand the relevance of the keyword or how important it is. What is the kind of demand the certain keyword has by looking